everyone, and welcome back to 4pixels. Kimi and Coco are here with Buttons and Lay Filet from Cacophony of Games. We're continuing the letter.
Yay!
Woohoo! Ash is still a chicken.
He hangs up instantly.
Oh. That's a good start.
Rude. Completely rude.
Agreed.
I didn't even get to thank him. He doesn't deserve it anymore. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I am doubtful it will. But right now I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Sleep comes easier tonight.
Ooh, journal.
I got a scary story for you guys, too, about busy tones and phones.
Yay!
Go ahead and tell us.
Oh, I was gonna wait for
the journal?
Layfilay to read the journal.
We could do either or.
Fair.
Coco, you make
So-
this decision.
Tell your story first.
So, in the church that we used to attend when I was, like, a wee little baby Buttons, there was an undercroft that had, they had renovated to be, like, a reception room, kind of, and it had a kitchen in the back.
Sorry, what's an under? What did you say?
Undercroft? It is a
what's that?
fancy word for a church basement.
Oh, okay.
And in it there was this phone, and I used to do bell choir in the evenings, and like we would go downstairs to use the bathrooms because they were in the downstairs, and occasionally you'd walk past and the phone would ring, and I've always been taught that like if the phone's ringing and you're there, you just answer it and be like, "Hi, you've reached blank, this is name speaking." So we would answer the phone and it would always busy signal every time without fail. So we're like, that's weird, maybe there's a short in the wire. And the one time that I think I picked it up, actually, I picked it up, it busy signaled, and there was just this hard screeching from in the phone.
Ugh.
And that is the last time that any of us answered that phone.
Creepy.
Yeah, no.
I was just gonna make a joke about is a baby Buttons called a cufflink?
I'm so mad I've never thought of that previously.
Well, it's not.
When I was a cufflink, yes, perfect.
That's adorable.
Now I'm spooked. Thank. If I wasn't spooked up until now, Button's story about creepy phones and screeching is what did it.
I lived like a year in a kind of haunted house, so like I have creepy stories if you want to.
No thank.
I have many a creep.
I'm good with the one possession I had. I'm good. Anyway. There we go. Ashton Frey reminded Isabella Santos of their meeting with Professor Andrew Clark tomorrow, a respected professor with a doctorate degree in sociology. As a former researcher specializing in ethnography and psychology, Ashton assured that his friend can help with her worries regarding the mansion's rumors.
God,
Can't
being a
tell.
British ethnographer must be the most boring shit in the planet.
Just drag the entire country.
Wow. I hope no one from.
Sleep comes easier tonight.
How?
For the first time in a long time, I dream of clear skies, of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets, and of a small, cramped dwellings.
Oh god, is Anne Hathaway gonna start singing?
To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this, to me, is home. The 23rd.
Gasp.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
I need to steal 501.
Ooh, spoopy! Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Although the air still feels muggy, I miss the chilly autumn weather. It's one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Ash's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. Oh, that's nice.
So the next time, the next time that we go back into her apartment, on the mini fridge, there's a picture at the bottom of a pink-haired chick and her, and I'm pretty sure it's just another picture of Becca and her. Also on the fridge, and I think that's adorable.
Yeah, she has like 3 pictures with her at least. When
They are best friends.
9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair is a disheveled mess, eyes drowsy, and overall looking like he hurried to get out of bed. Or fell out of it. Or both. He looks adorably rumpled this way. But I'm not going to tell him that. It'll only bloat his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
He makes a motion with his finger around his ears. Tone it down.
Can you even drive?
Wasn't he driving before? Or, I guess he just means in his state.
Yeah, because he seems sleepy.
He answers me with a slight raise of his hand, a yawn, and nothing more.
Reliable.
He's never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him to make fun of me.
You think that?
You think that. He's just waiting to go in for the kill.
Yeah.
Ha! There's the reason why mornings are my favorite. It doesn't take long for us to reach our destination, the small cafe situated in Luxbourne's busiest street, the same one I often visit with Becca for its cheap food.
It's Starbucks again?
I've never gone here on a Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekend and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back home, near the university I used to attend. I wonder what happened to it.
Probably got bought out.
It was being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place has always had a calming effect on me.
Aww.
But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, anxiety easily washes over me as soon as I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, thanks to my work. But still, I don't know him. In spite of the fact both Ash and Becca have vouched for him, what will he think of me and my story? What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw in a breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant steps forward, and then Ash is suddenly pulling me back by my elbow.
Hold on, scaredy cat. Not too fast.
Without warning, he flicks my forehead. Hard. I fucking hate it when people do that. Like, that's one way to just flip a trigger on me. Or pull my hair.
I'm pretty sure the last person that did that to me, I punched.
Is that a common thing to do?
For?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like, it hasn't happened in a long time, but it's a thing people do.
I mean, my brother likes to smack me in the head and say could have had a V8, but, like...
I don't know, never happened to me.
I've been
Never
lucky
seen
to
it
never
either.
have anyone flick my forehead, but pulling the hair, I think the last person who did that ended up with broken fingers. Because I literally just grabbed his hand and just wrenched it down, and I'm like, you never grab my hair.
No.
It's just, like, super rude.
Yeah!
Yeah.
But also, last time it happened, it was like the 3rd grade, so...
I mean, yeah.
Anyone who's doing that past that age.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it happens
Oh, yeah.
so much.
I think the last time it
I
happened
don't
to
know.
me was in 9th grade.
I don't know. That's what I've never seen it, actually.
He's already walking...
I also get to be the armrest.
He's already walking away when I look up, and I hurry to catch up to him, puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. So rude.
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything?
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were okay last night either.
Huh?
What was that last one? Hey! Don't just ignore me!
Bye.
Sorry, that's the best animation in the whole game.
Wow.
All questions and retorts die in my mouth once he opens the door to the shop. A cast iron bell attached to it chimes softly, announcing our arrival. The smell of freshly brewed coffee welcomes us as soon as we step in.
Coffee.
Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for the patrons. But most of the customers present at the moment have forgone them in favor of the more comfortable throw pillows and beanbags the staff has laid out on the floor.
Oh, nice.
Becca would
I
love
love
to know they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time now. Whoa. There's whatever. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and a book.
Professor Clark.
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
Just stare over his head.
Yep.
The guy, Andrew, looks up from his book and gives him a smile. A sheepish look crosses Ash's face at the older man's admonishment. More unusual, to say the least, is seeing him appear like a parent has just scolded him. But it suggests a familiarity between them, one that goes beyond what someone expects from a simple student and mentor. With another warm smile, he gestures for us to take the empty seats opposite him.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time. But I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here. I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
Soon enough,
Thank you,
a waiter
yes.
brings us 2 more cups and sets down a basket of pastries.
I
Aren't
can
you going to
hear
introduce
Sky
the
Williams in
lady?
the background.
Ah, right. Sorry. Isabella, this is Prof. Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
Filipina, actually. It's
Almost.
a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Strike out. And an extra one.
Ah.
At least he knew a lot of
History,
them.
Miss Santos. Just Andrew was fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
He doesn't listen to anyone.
Truth.
He doesn't listen to anyone, more like it. The
Are we just playing Coco?
Apparently.
Yeah, not gonna lie, relate a lot to Isabella, many, many, many levels. The awkward tension typically present in its first meeting dissipates after that. I was expecting someone strict, and to an extent someone severe. But Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what I have in mind. The more personable, kind, similar to a grandfather who will dote on you at family gatherings.
He's dying.
As long as we
Wow,
don't show him
rude.
the letter. Show him it.
We're just killing everyone on sight.
It's obvious why Ash is taking a liking to him.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with. Let's hear it then.
I give Ash a hesitant glance, but he just nods and gestures towards Andrew with his head. He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell, after all. I keep it short
Well, you
and
see.
concise. I found a letter in this old mansion. Now I'm cursed. Exactly as I have told Ash and Zach when they asked about it. I don't mention the name of the place. I don't think you need to. No
Probably.
use saying it now that someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my problems.
I'm
Too
sure
late.
it's that letter I found. But I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Anselm Village, aren't we?
See? Everyone knows.
Yep.
How did you?
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating nonetheless. It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job explaining topics like this one compared to me. Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history. And it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing, in the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
My head is starting to spin from all this information.
Yeah,
I
he's
hope
definitely gonna die.
I hope he doesn't just address it as like because Isabella is Filipino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about that too.
I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. It's still too much to take in at once. I look to Ash for help, but his eyebrows are drawn in a frown. If he keeps staring like that at his cups, I'm pretty sure it'll crack soon. He was probably hoping that Andrew would just be like, nah, none of that's real. It's just in your imagination.
I'm consistently amazed by the character animation in this game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty nice.
Using Spine is amazing for doing the 2.5D.
It's so
There's
good.
still something you're not telling.
Oh, that's it.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights, that you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
You don't have anything to do with this.
Rights. Luke and Hannah, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
Ah, I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want when they set their eyes on it. From what I've heard, word gets around, especially with a pretty well-known couple like them.
A heavy sigh escapes my lips. Popular or not, they're just my clients. I'll be a little pushy, but just clients. End of story. I wish he'd just stop pestering me about them.
Let's try the kind approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not make an ass out of ourselves in front of this total stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've done enough of that.
And
Like,
let's not.
17 parts.
And also, let's not shut up Ash like in front of someone he respects so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationship status? Come on.
Yeah.
God, we're gonna get that
Redash.
maxed out.
Oh no, I prayed immediately what we're gonna get, Dad Ash.
No! No! Buttons, why?
I'm a freaking meme lord, what did you expect?
What is it again that Becca does when dealing with a particularly difficult child? The pesky, annoying child? The Ashton? I wish I could remember. I can certainly use the same trick right about now.
Ashton, look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
About a week from now? It depends on how long the papers will take, but they want us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Oh lord, even my younger siblings aren't this difficult to deal with. Then again, Ash is far from a younger sibling to me.
Oh, really?
If you'd only spell it out, surely I'd understand. He's tracing one of them. We wouldn't even have to talk about it right now. That's how it is, right? Find an even ground, talk about it like the adults we ought to be. We ought to be.
This is a bad sentence. Need to take out the R.
Yeah. It wasn't like this before. But somewhere along the way, something has changed in us. As people. As friends.
Oh.
I wish there's a way I can tell when or why. Instead, I'm left searching blindly for reasons. The next thing we know, we'll be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
Whatever, Dad.
Sorry, Andrew.
You're not my real dad!
You're not sick.
And we're not going to solve anything either.
You're not my papa.
Oh.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
You know, I just realized he actually looks a lot like one of my professors I had before. But
Yup, he looks a lot like a philosophy professor I had.
Yeah.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry.
Drag him!
Drag him! Finish him!
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Please do.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of our small conversation, Ash looks like he's praying for the ground
Get wrecked.
to swallow him up. He's never been one to talk about himself. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I've gleaned over the years. He's an atrocious singer, he's bad at art, and he has a personal vendetta against mornings. Now?
Yeah.
Now it feels like he isn't that hard to figure out after all. It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. And we will wrap this episode up right here. Thank you guys for joining us, and see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye!
Bye!